Well, hello, everyone. Good to see you all. Thank you all so very much for joining me. Tonight, we are talking about the case of 5-year-old Summer Moon Utah Wells, who vanished from her Rogersville home on June 15th, 2021. Since then, there's been no sighting of Summer. And tonight, we're going to be talking about a lot of things. The craziness that's going on in Summer Wells' case, Van Hill Road, and how Summer went missing, and about the bottom of the hill. A lot to talk about on the other side of this.
I've walked through storms in scars and grace.
Sing it if you
Smile
know it.
through pain with a painted face.
Let's go.
They call me too loud, too much, too strong. But honey, that's the reason I belong. Every scar's a scripture, every tear's a hymn. I found my worth where the light grew dim. They tried to break me, but here's the twist. I turned my pain into a clenched fist. I'm an unbreakable woman, born of fire and pearl. I shine like
Thank you,
grace.
Jeanette. Appreciate you. Welcome, Night Angel.
You can shake my plan, but I'll rise again. Just watch me
Thank you for moving, Mama.
I've been whispered about and written off, judged by the gloss, not the cause. But God don't build weak hearts from gold. He made me fierce and he made me bold. I bend, I pray, I roar, I rise with mascara, tears and battle cries. Don't need your crown, I forge my own. From ashes, honey, I build my throne. I'm in a breakable soul, dressed in truth and pearls. The fire don't scare me, it lights my world. You can doubt my voice, but you'll hear my name. I'm holy and hood, and I'm done with shame. For everyone called too much, too loud, too real. You're not to anything. You're exactly what power looks like. I'm an unbreakable soul, through the fight and flame. My scars are stories, my strength, my faith. Faith in my heart, fire in my curls, forever divine. Clutch them pearls.
Let's
Hold
go.
up, hold up, lights on, chat in the room, another late night, and another headline blooming. Coffee going
Here
cold,
we
but the
go.
story got heat, and one little detail keep tapping my screen. Coming in clutch,
Coming in
when the
clutch.
timeline bends, we don't just scroll, we connect loose ends. Somebody said, nah, that's probably enough, but the chat said, Justin, we're coming in clutch. Run that back, don't rush that part. Something felt wrong from the very first start. Different day, same shaky excuse, and the math ain't mathin' when we check the proof. I'm not here to play detective for fame, I'm here when the story starts changing names. One clip, one call, one post too much, and the whole room knows we're coming in clutch. Coming in clutch, yeah, the facts stay loud. Truth don't hide when we bring the crowd. Screens lit up and the chat don't sleep. We dig real deep where the stories get steep. Pearls in the chat, lights in the back. Somebody better explain why the story went flat. You can dodge one question, maybe dodge two, but the internet
Thank you,
clock, but you
Monica.
said don't cue.
Appreciate you, babe.
Say that again, you said it was there, then it wasn't back then. You said you forgot, but the record got saved. Now the chat's wide awake and the room just changed.
Coming in clutch when it all gets strange, when the facts get buried and the tone starts change. We don't need drama, the truth does enough, that's why they pull up, we're coming in clutch.
Late night crew, yeah, we built this thing. One live stream turned to a whole damn ring. Members in green minds holding it down. Whole chat moving like a small town crowd. No fake hype, no lazy spin. Just one more clue and we're back again. If it don't sit right, we don't let it slide. We put the detail right up on live.
Coming in clutch, say it one more time. Whole room locked on the very next line. From the first red flag to the final touch, you know where to be, we're coming in clutch.
When the screen fades out and the night gets still, somebody somewhere knows truth comes real. We'll be right here when the next facts drop. Coming in clutch and we don't just stop.
Well, bam. Hello, everyone. Good to see you all. Thank you all so much for joining me. Really do appreciate your time. You could have chosen to be anywhere on YouTube. You have a lot of options, anywhere on the internet, anywhere in the world. And you chose to be right here. And your time is very valuable, and I do appreciate you spending some time with me. Today is August 14th, 2026. It is currently 8:42 p.m. on the East Coast of the United States of America. Good to see you all, guys. Thank you all so very much for joining me tonight. We're talking about the Summer Moon Utah Wells case and craziness going on in these YouTube streets that we're going to be talking about, as well as, of course, staying with the things that we know. I was actually going to, I'm still a little early, but I was going to come a lot earlier, but I started working more on this live stream, and I was going through just, I've got a lot on Summer Wells. I've literally been on it since day one. And we are 5 years later. So we're going to be talking about all of that. Good to see everyone in chat. Thank you guys so much. Jeanette, really do appreciate you, my dear. Welcome to the Pearl family. Night Angel, welcome, my darling. Welcome. Appreciate you. Mama's the Bomb, thank you for renewing your membership. Really appreciate you. Monica, good evening, Justin. Thank you, Monica, for 2 months, my love. Really do appreciate you. And Miss Dolores, you're very kind, love. Thank you so much, Miss Dolores. I love you, Justin. I love you, Pearls. We love you, Miss Dolores. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Hello, Green Eyes, Wendy, Patty, Lolo, Jingles, Carols, everyone up in here. Okay, so where should we start? Where should we start? Well, there's not been a lot in Summer's case since the Van Hill Road thing. And, that's all, it's kind of like the waiting game, if you will. But our friends, Fred and Sheila from Hatfield and McCoy's Museum Adventures, I believe that's what it's called. They recently went up to Don and Candace's, they were in the neighborhood, I guess, in the area. And they went up there and spoke to Don and Candace. I felt they were very respectful. There was a lot of mixed reviews on that. I thought they did a great job, though. Thank you, Patty. Good to see you, my dear. Appreciate you. Very kind, Miss Patty. Much love to you, my friend. And all of that. And, Fred, he's 40 some year retired law enforcement, all that. I actually tried to get a hold of Fred today. I don't know if, I tried to call him and it's not going through or whatever. So then I Cash App him and wrote a note with my phone number. I was actually going to invite him here today. Because there's some things going on the YouTube streets. I really try not to get into that stuff. You guys know that when it comes to these cases or anything. But I wanted to kind of talk to Fred and Sheila and see if they would come up here. They're pretty new to the case and all of that. Thank you so much, Dolores. Again, thank you, love. You're very sweet, honey. Thank you very much. If you receive that, make sure you thank our dear Dolores for that. I did invite them up, but if they come in chat, they're still welcome, to come up. There's been some things going on with, I guess, Fred and Sheila and them. They did a video on Jody Sue, out of all, Jody Sue, which I will be the first to say that I don't think Jody Sue has a damn thing to do with Summer's case. I just don't. I'll just put that flat out. But I also think that Jody Sue is she likes attention. She just likes fucking attention, and that's just it. And she's talked on at literally hours and hours and hours and hours a day in the Summer Wells case. And I do think she's added some value to some information that she has said, but it just depends on kind of what day you catch her. But I also don't think she's like this victim either of, I think Summer's the victim. I mean, she might be a victim in some ways or whatever, but I don't think I think she's likes attention, and that's just it. That's just really it. So in my opinion, if I was Fred, I don't think he knows the case like a lot of us, and I say that very respectfully. All Fred said was to search the property at 125 Ben Hill Road, and she went on a 6-hour rant cussing Fred and carrying on. That's typical. That's typical JSB. Yeah, I mean, who hasn't she talked about? Let's just be real. Who hasn't she talked about? It just is. She's just not. Like I said, he's a police officer, retired police officer and stuff, and they did massive searches, and everyone's going to disagree on cases and stuff like that, and I just try to be respectful with everyone's beliefs because we're all of one of 8 billion people on the planet. So I try not to get too bent up on it, but I don't think that Jody Sue, like I said, I don't think she or anybody in her family is involved in any way, shape, or form. Now, I will say that Jody Sue and everyone else on that hill has been thrown under the bus at one point or another. Even YouTubers saying, Don's even said, freaking YouTubers had Summer. Oh my goodness, thank you, Miss Tina. Appreciate you. Appreciate your hard work. Hugs. Thank you, Miss Tina. Much love to you, baby. Appreciate that very much. Good to see you, baby. Thank you for your support. Hello, Rainbow. Good to see you, my dear. But if I was him, I wouldn't even worry about her, to be quite honest with you. And I don't want to tell him what to do with their channel or anything like that. To me, it's in my opinion, and that's why I kind of wanted them to come up here tonight. If I had their phone number, I'm sure they would have generously came up here. But they have my phone number. I sent it with the Cash App. Fred and Sheila with my phone number. So yeah, she just, listen, and I say this not as really a dig or anything like that toward Jody Sue, even though she'll take it that way, and it might be a dig. I don't know, but Jody Sue has a very small life. I'm glitching really bad. I don't know if it's my computer or what, but I apologize. I don't know the fuck I'm glitching like this. But she has a relatively small life, and which is fine. But all she has is YouTube, and that's her outlet, and I just wouldn't even pay any attention to it, to be quite honest with you. You think Jody Sooners or Summer is? I don't. I think the people that knows where Summer is, in fact, I would, not that I would bet on anything like this, but as a figure of speech, I would bet anything that Dawn and Candace and Grandis know a hell of a lot more, and so does others. But I don't believe they're on Ben Hill Road. I think it's the only people. 110 Ben Hill is the only people on Ben Hill Road that knows where Summer is. There's something weird with YouTube tonight. I don't know what it is. The algorithms, I don't know what it is, but everything's glitchy tonight. So yeah, they have done massive searches for Summer. Truly, in some of the biggest in Tennessee. Probably hers and Sebastian's is probably some of the biggest searches that there has been out there. And I want to go through some of that tonight, but there is something that I listen. Jody Sue, she spoke about in the very beginning of whenever Summer went missing. She does talk about like hearing a vehicle, and she said it was like a red flash and stuff. That I do believe her. I do believe, in my opinion, just out of all the stuff I've heard, it's just an opinion, that she did hear a scream that day. I do. I don't believe her on a lot of other things, but there are certain things that I do believe. I do believe she heard a scream that day. And, Don even tells on himself. He says, the neighbor heard us screaming that day. Don was home that day. It's not an opinion at this point. We know that he was there that day. He wasn't at work. It's bullshit for him to say that. He needs to stop saying that, because he knows better. Frank Hill told me one thing and run another. Van Hill Road still on my radar. Again, I don't really keep up with everybody else, but I will say Van Hill Road is definitely on my radar. Definitely on my radar. And I don't listen, everything that I know, I don't just run to YouTube and speak. With Michael Vaughn's case, I knew a year and a half that about Stacy Wanderer. I could have released it like that. I don't run and say everything. But anyway, we're gonna talk about this tonight. The scream was probably Candace fighting. I think I think that it's one of two things. I think either Candace and Dawn planned this day out. She pick up Hunter and Grandis go do whatever her thing is. And Hunter was kind of like, the witness that day or whatever. Even though I don't think he knows where Summer is. Or I think that Dawn got mad because he was home with the boys while she went with Hunter swimming, and people got, and he got pissed off and jealous. And the reason I say that is because I have the full 911 call that happened with Dawn and Candace about 10 months before Summer went missing. And I was taking some notes of some things just earlier that we're going to get into. And you will hear the jealousy come out. And I also think Don took his anger out on pretty much anyone that was in front of him at the time. So we'll talk about that. Janet, thank you for 27 months. You are an absolute legend. Thank you so very much for your support, my dear. Really, really do appreciate you, my love. That's amazing. Thank you for putting up with me for 27 months, love. Really appreciate that. The Del Terry lady, friends with Candace, she kept saying the peepholes. The peepholes. Well, I think Dawn's... if you remember about the peepholes, Jose spoke about you could see like peepholes in the floor. Remember that? Yeah. Okay. So I want to just go over some things here. Get this, some of this out of the way before we get into a lot of the deeper stuff tonight. Guys, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up button. Greatly, greatly appreciate that. Also, if you would share this live out, hit that share button, copy that link, drop it in any of your favorite social media. And if you would consider hyping this video, you get 3 hypes a week on YouTube. If you don't use it, you lose it. You got to do it on your mobile device after the live stream as well. They could have brought Summer to the cemetery after she was found. I still think they spread her ash in Utah. I don't think any of that stuff. I think Summer is... I think she's close by, pretty close by. I don't know. Holes drilled in the floor so the heat can come up from the basement, I thought. I don't know. We'll see.
That is...
So this is John Pruitt. I don't know if he's still on the case in Summer's case, but he was the detective for a long time. He kind of talks about
It's a viable option.
The night she went missing, authorities said she walked away from her house. The following day, an Amber Alert was issued.
People are probably tired of hearing this. All possibilities are on the table. We're not completely eliminating the abduction idea.
Scenarios of what happened the night of June 15th continue to grow.
The wandering away, sneaking off to go play or whatever she may have done, that is a viable option.
The night she went missing, authorities said she walked away from her house. The following day, an Amber Alert was issued.
People are probably...
Okay, that wasn't the one. 1 second here. Let me just say something. Do you guys remember, for those of you that are like OG on the Summer case, do you guys remember the horse that went running down the street whenever the TBI and Ronnie Lawson were giving that let me find it here. Do you guys remember that? I'm not a superstitious person or anything like that, but I will say especially after Van Hill Road, and there was 1 second, I'm trying to do 12 things at once and I'm not good at it. Here, let me make this bigger here. So there was a horse that ran down the road, but after Van Hill, or after they went to Van Hill Road, I now honestly do think this was a sign.
And they searched for a little bit and then say hurt this investigation on my aspect of things, nothing's hurting us. We encounter difficult situations so far, and we overcome them situations. From here on out, it is going to be providing our team
Listen to this. Watch this.
the rest and assurance to make sure that we can provide more and more fresh body, fresh eyes, and be able to come in and help search for Summer Wells.
You can hear someone say you don't see that every day. Now, again, I don't think this horse is, like, I don't think the horse is part of the Summerwell case, like the person who took Summer, this is their horse or anything. I'm not saying that. I just think it's a sign.
The rest and assurance to make sure that we can provide more and more fresh body, fresh eyes, and be able to come in and help search for Summer Wells.
Listen, you don't see that every day, right? You don't see that every day. And you certainly don't see that every day, right? Okay, so let me show you this that we're going to get into. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Here it is. This one's a better one. Let me show you this one. This is the one I was looking for.
More and more fresh body, fresh eyes to be able to come in and help search for Summer Wells. And that we can provide more and more fresh body, fresh eyes to be able to come in and help search for Summer Wells.
Okay, so wanted to show you guys that. I do think he's wearing a saddle. I don't know if he's wearing might be wearing a saddle on that. I'm not sure or not, but I do think that is a sign, especially after they went to Van Hill Road. And there's other horses that's kind of showed up in this. Oops, let me find it here. Okay. One second here. Okay. Now I want to go to Ansley Daniels. Before we get into the deep stuff, I want to talk about some things here.
In the presence of a heavy burden when I sat down with the detective John Pruitt with the Hawkins County Sheriff's Office. He's led this investigation into Summer's disappearance.
I forgot to load
He told
this
me
up.
that as difficult as this case is to work, he is nowhere near giving up.
It is a lot to shoulder, it's a lot to burden. We have a missing child that we haven't found yet.
Almost 10 months and so much heartache. And investigators aren't immune from that hurt. The question of what happened to Summer Wells still has no answer.
There haven't been very many cases like this. I have never worked a missing child case with all these different entities and agencies involved.
The lead investigator on the case says his days are devoted to finding her.
My day, I check tip line and voicemail when I first get here. I do phone calls and follow-ups on any credible leads I've got. I follow up on anything that I didn't get to a good conclusion the day before. Then I go into my normal caseload of any new cases I've got, follow-ups on them.
They've received nearly 2,000 tips.
I will follow up on everything I can to try to bring closure for this.
Self-proclaimed online investigators and social media sleuths have turned this case into a mess of ideas. And tips have come in from everywhere across the U.S. and even overseas. That help, Pruitt says, has led to little more than time wasted.
If these people...
He's a jerk. He's a jerk. Where was it? I was wanting to find. One second here.
Other instances, but it bleeds over into this.
Listen to this right here. Listen to this.
And appointed attorneys
right here.
to the case.
They have been appointed for other instances, but it bleeds over into this investigation as well.
Summer Wells.
Okay. Do you guys remember them saying it bleeds over Summer's, the CPS bleeds over into, why am I glitchy? It's annoying me to pieces that it bleeds over. Do you guys remember that? I find that interesting. I still find that interesting because, you know, it, just like Fred and Sheila were talking the other day. Yeah, it's been bad weather here. It's been awful. Don was talking about CPS being there the day before, and he is relentlessly says that CPS kidnapped Summer, which we know is completely BS, right? We know it's completely BS. But he said that this case bleeds over. Now, when he says that, I don't think of, you know, there's Summer missing, and then there's Summer has 3 brothers, and that's totally separate, right? So I don't find it a coincidence, in my opinion, that CPS was there the day before. Like Don says, about 24 hours later, Summer vanishes. Not only did the CPS agent come, I'm just going to turn off my camera if it keeps on doing this. Not only does CPS come that day, but the supervisor comes that day. And I think, let me find it here. So my question is, why? Why? Okay. Let me show you this right here. 2 seconds. I apologize. One of the first comments Don said, Summer's father issues first statement. Don Wells, Summer's father, said in a statement to WJHL that Summer would, quote, never leave our hill, end quote, and that he believes, quote, someone snuck up on her and grabbed her. That's oddly specific. And I find it interesting. I find it interesting that someone would, you know, nobody ever thinks that someone would come up there and take this 5-year-old little girl. That Don told her, him, and CPS got into a very heated argument, and he told them to get off the property. Yes. Yep. I have heard that as well, Don. When CPS comes and you don't answer the door many times, they will leave a note and come back with a supervisor. Generally, the only time they come with a supervisor, many times they'll come out like in the country and stuff like that, especially if like it's really far out and they know that the parents can be hostile. Sometimes they'll bring police with them as well. Not with all those dogs up there. Hell no. And I want to go, well, let me go back to that real quick. Don Wells says, this is some of his first statements. We know that there's people praying all around the world, praying for her safe return. So many people love her. She would never leave our hill. I think that someone snuck up on her and grabbed her. I don't think she's in the area because the dog goes down to the road and that's the end of the trail. But I don't know that for a fact. The way that she just disappeared. She would never do that. That is a direct quote coming from Don. Again, very specific. And then he says all of this, but then he says, I don't know that to be a fact. Right? Like, of course, this is your daughter, right? So you don't know that to be, you don't know where the scent came from, right, Don? Her mother and grandmother and she wanted to go in the house. So my wife watched her go into the door, and she went into the house. And the boys were on the internet, of course, and she wanted to go downstairs and play with her toys. So when her mother came in and she says, Summer, and she went down to the basement and she didn't answer. So she went down there and she was gone. So she went out the basement door, which was unlocked, and we haven't seen her since. Don Wells, Summer's father. Again, now Don will tell you that he doesn't know if the doors were locked or not. Here he says the door was unlocked. That door was not unlocked, in my opinion. Remember, Candace said nobody in, nobody out. Everyone was locked up. They kept foil all around on the windows, in the basement, all of that. And according to lots of people who stayed in that house, there was a blue couch right in front of that doorway. Summer's father, Don Wells, and one of her brothers attended the vigil. Don said he was at work when his wife called to tell him that Summer was missing on Tuesday and that he rushed home to find his boys and neighbor searching for his daughter. You weren't at work though, were you, Don? Grandis, also known as Candace Harrier, that is Summer's grandmother, Candace's mother. Bring my grandbaby home. She is a lovely baby, and we're so thankful for everyone looking for her. We yelled and looked for her as much as we could. She's just gone. It's devastating. Okay. TBI spokesperson Leslie Earhart noted that investigators cannot share everything that they're doing in order to preserve the investigation. Ronnie Lawson said, quote, you'd have to work very hard to find somebody we haven't talked to. And her search was massive. The search had utilized over 120 agencies from Tennessee, Ohio, Virginia, Alabama, Georgia, and North Carolina. Since June 15th, there's been much more searching than this since then, but since June 15th, 1,150 searchers had covered the ground, 1,150 people. Over 13,800 search hours were logged. TBI fixed wing flew 21.2 hours. The THP helicopter logged 30 hours of flight. The TBI put out a notice hoping to get in contact with a potential witness who may have been driving in a Toyota pickup truck near the Wells home close to the time Summer's disappearance. The pickup truck was described as possibly a 1999 to 2000 maroon or red Toyota Tacoma with a full bed ladder rack with white buckets in the back. I think that was an animal rack, in my opinion. The driver was not identified, but it is not considered a suspect. Investigators stressed that they hope to find out what the driver saw and heard anything on either June 14th or June 15th when they were in the area. Look at little Summer, little Appalachian princess. That's what we call her. Hey, Lakeside. Good to see you, baby. Okay. Numerous specialized search and rescue groups, including but are not limited to Tennessee Task Force 2, the Bussar Appalachian Mountain Rescue, Black Diamond, SCSAR Central Carolina, SAR Great Smoky Mountains National Park, Ratsar Search and Rescue Tracking Institute and numerous canine teams. 4.6 square miles, over 3,000 acres had been searched since Summer went missing. So they really, really searched the area. That's what the point I'm trying to make here. Okay. Here we go. Want to show you this. Give me 1 second. Okay. Bear with me. Also, let me play this real quick. Do you guys remember this? This was JLR. He went to the horse stables, and they had cameras there. I'm pretty sure they did.
Can I give you guys a flyer? Or are you guys aware of the summer
Thank you,
wells
Tasha.
case?
Thank you, baby. Appreciate you.
It's been a year since she's been reported missing. You guys see her? Did you guys see her at all?
We saw, she was down here the day she went missing. The truck was. We saw it.
Oh, you saw the truck?
Yeah.
The truck.
Police?
Oh, yeah. TBI came and talked to us.
It was like on surveillance or anything? I'm just covering the case. That's fine.
Well, they just saw it, and she was saw alive after she left here.
Oh, she was alive?
Yeah.
Did you see them come back?
Meaning Summer.
No, we just saw the truck here most of the day. We were having summer camp, and that truck was down in the cul-de-sac most of the day.
That's always been interesting to me. If that person is right, that the truck was down there most of the day. Now, one thing that's interesting to me is Candace, Hunter, Summer, and Grandis were there, and they shouldn't have been there more than 30 minutes max. Right? Yeah, the horse stables since burned down. Yeah. That always.
I lost some horses. There, you know what time?
Oh, wow.
I'm stuck. Camera is.
Yeah. She was seen in her front yard alive hours after she left here. Yeah.
All
TBI
right.
even told us that.
All right, TBI told you that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, they said they seen her alive.
It was video. They had it on the news. Yeah.
All right, God bless you.
I don't
Thank you.
know if
Thank
she's
you.
right on that
Yeah,
one.
just, keep her name out there. Spotlight.
You guys see her? Did you guys see her at all? We saw she was down here the day she went missing.
So there's that. Let me see if my camera's still stuck. 1 second, guys. I'm going to try to refresh. Hopefully that will be better. I kept getting stuck. I don't know what it was. Okay, here we go. Sorry about that, guys. Okay. So that's one thing that always stuck out to me. Now, let's get into it. One thing that Jody Sue did say that always makes me interested.
Heard, us screaming Summer's name. Yeah. So I think I don't know. I don't know for sure because I wasn't there. But I've known him for.
Dawn says we were screaming her name, meaning Summer's name. Well, he wasn't home because Dawn says, I was screaming her name and, the neighbors heard us. And then he's like, I don't know. I'm sure I wasn't there.
Years, and he's always been really good.
Okay,
Really
listen to
good
this.
to us, real
Now listen to what
friendly.
Jody Sue says.
But I absolutely did hear a certain point there when it was screaming at them, what did you do? What did you do? And it was one of the points that day looking for something I knew stuff had become dire. This was not, she's missing. This is something that, it was said. I know it was. I do not doubt. It was loud and clear as and they reply back, nothing, mama, I swear.
Okay, now, again, some people believe Jody Sue on this, some people don't. Now, I do believe her on this. I do, personally. I don't believe her on a lot of things, but this was a long time ago when she said this. And Jody Sue was down there very quickly after Summer went missing. She was looking down there with the boys. And let me just play that little part again, because there's a point I want to make. Because whenever she says she heard something, I immediately heard something that I'm going to play for you in a second. I immediately heard Candace in a recording, something she said to Summer.
Always been really good to us, real friendly.
But I absolutely did hear a certain point there when it was screaming at them, what did you do? What did you do?
That part. What did you do? What did you do? Okay? What did you do? What did you do? Now, I do think she heard this, but I think she might have been, yelling at the boys right there, like, what did you do? Like, where's your sister or whatever? But I think Dawn had already taken Summer, probably, in my opinion.
And it was one of the points that day looking for something I knew stuff had become dire. This was not, she's missing. This is something that, it was said. I know it was. I do not doubt. It was loud and clear as and they reply back, nothing, mama, I swear. So what's the problem now? Why tell somebody I'm a liar? Didn't tell me that to my face all these months. Didn't have a problem with that for all these months. Now all of a sudden we don't want that out. Don't want it known to be truth. Why is that? Makes.
Now, again, some people believe Jody Sue, some people don't. I think most of the things she's, talked out of literally both sides of her mouth and then some. And, I think she likes the attention and all that shit. But moving on here, when the what did you do? And that immediately made me think of this call. Let me find the timestamp. 2150. Okay. This is part of a 911 call that happened about 10 months before Summer went missing. And it was a fight between Dawn and Candace. And you hear Summer on here, and she says, mommy, help me. And then you hear Candace say, what are you doing? Or like, what did you do? What are you doing? And that made me think of Jody Sue right there when she said, I could hear her say, what are you doing? You hear, you're going to hear in the background, Mama, Mom, Mommy. That's Summer. What are you doing? What did you do? Right.
Screaming at them, what did you do? What did you do? And it was one of the points that day looking for something I knew.
So that makes me, that's what Candace would say. Help me. What are you doing to her? He's trying to hurt Summer.
What? Am I still there? Yeah, I'm here.
Listen,
What's going on?
Listen.
Are you there? Yeah, I'm here. This is with my daughter. Okay, you just hurt your daughter?
He tried to hurt my daughter. He just, what in the 911 call said, he tried to hurt your daughter.
My daughter. Okay, you just hurt your daughter? Yeah, I took my daughter's photo. Okay.
He said he took my daughter's something.
They took a photo.
Took my daughter's snuggles.
Okay. Yeah.
You can hear little Summer.
No. How many days do I get here? They're coming as fast as I can. They're getting close to you. Johnny told my mom that he had to leave, and she had to leave, and she's been there for over a year.
Okay. So, okay.
She's outside fighting.
Okay. So that was that. Now, I want to go to, let me find the timestamp where, let me look at my notes here, 10:30. Let's see what manipulating Dawn is.
She didn't remember but no. And I just went in there and
1 second.
Get there too, yeah. Man, he's out there little punching stuff the face and making himself all bruised up and bloody like I am, and I'm not.
So Dawn is scared of getting the police called on him, and Candace says he's out there like punching himself and making himself bleed like I did it, and I'm not. So, which was on the police report as well. Dawn was out there making it, himself, making it seem like he was the victim in this, which is interesting to me, right? He would do this. Now, 1440. Bear with me as I find it. 1440. Okay. Dawn would leave Candace and the kids on the weekends, and before this fight, he was gone for several months with Utah. In Utah, he took the oldest son and left the two boys, and Candace and Summer, at the house, no money, no nothing, which is really terrible, Dawn. And Dawn has this paranoia about talking about math heads, has this paranoia. And he loves it. There's a few things that Dawn likes more than anything, and one is math and Coca-Cola, and strippers and red panties, in no particular order. And listen to what she says here. I didn't even pick this up until, I've heard this a lot of times, but I didn't pick it up till earlier.
I don't know. I don't know where he goes. When he goes, he just goes. Okay. He just disappears into John City to the crack man and all kinds of shit.
So the 911 caller there, she was wanting to know where, if Dawn was still there. And Candace says, I don't know where all he goes. He just disappeared into Johnson City with the man, the math man, but she says crack man, and all kinds of stuff.
I don't know where he goes. When he goes, he just goes. Okay. He just disappears into John City to the crack man and all kinds of shit. Here. They're getting close. They're coming as fast as they can.
Yeah. Okay. Another thing, 2018. Watch this. Okay. Now, Dawn was very jealous of Candace allowing Jose to come there and stay. He was so jealous, he left Utah and flew across from Utah to Tennessee because Jose had a man in the house, or Candace had a man in the house. Jose was dating Allie, her friend, but he was staying with Candace. And he got like a ticket on the way because he was literally flying. When I say flying, like 100 miles an hour plus from Utah to Tennessee, just because of jealousy. That's all. Now, listen to what he says here, because Candace, they're very insecure in their relationship. Candace was thinking Dawn was cheating on her when he was in Utah, and he probably was, and vice versa. Let's just be real. They're both cheaters. But Dawn, in this phone call, he's kind of, bitching at her, yelling at her. And then he does this thing where he tries to de-escalate and try to soften her, Candace, up and all that. But he says this right here. It's very interesting.
So what was we thinking when he was in Utah? But now we're with another man, huh? See? He should have said yes.
Okay. Turn this off. 1 second here. Listen to this.
Absolutely. So what was we thinking when he was in Utah?
He says, Mackenzie, you were thinking, I think he says, Mackenzie, you were thinking I was with when I was in Utah.
But now we're with another man, huh?
But now you're with another man, huh? But now you're with another man, huh?
Swifty. So what was we thinking when he was in Utah? But now we're with another man, huh? See? You should have said yes.
But now you're with another man, huh? See, you just said yes. And you know, I really sometimes feel like Don, because he drove across from Utah to Tennessee, and hearing this, and then hearing her being with Hunter that day and him home, I think he sometimes flipped out, jealous, absolutely jealous. Okay, 1 second here. All right, let me play this. So this was on Shares Voices Behind the Wall.
Time I met him, he told me.
So this guy, this was maybe a couple years ago, or maybe a year or so ago, probably 2 years ago. This is Dudley Ajan. And of course, this is Don Wells. They worked together. They were drywall finishers, and they were kind of like independent contractors, but they had a 50-50 split of the profit down the middle. The problem is they're both on rugs, right? Now, they did not get along at all. And I believe Dudley, for the most part, with most of the things that he says, especially leading up, especially shortly after he says, but this is what he says directly to Don here. Now, it's crazy because Dudley is whacked out of his head here. His jaw is going, you know, and Don, he's more or less sober here. This is when he was in Arkansas.
I mean, he had to stay at work till almost 8, 9 o'clock at night because DSS was coming to his house and he couldn't be there. I said,
because
what?
Of what?
Listen to that.
Come on, Don, bro.
Who? I missed that. What'd you say? Assess.
No.
See.
Okay.
Time I met him, he told me he had to stay at work till almost 8, 9 o'clock at night because DSS was coming to his house and he couldn't be there.
Okay. Now he says, he told me that, he says DSS. I think he means DHS, CPS. He had to stay at work till nearly 8 or 9 o'clock at night because he couldn't be there. He couldn't be there. And whenever CPS has what they call an alleged perpetrator, if the call comes against someone in the home, they will not say, you have to, the CPS can't say you have to get out of the house. But what they can say is if this person doesn't leave, then we will have to take the kids. So most of the time, the adult, the alleged perpetrator that the call is against, will move out of the house so they don't get their kids removed, right? Don was sleeping in the bathtubs where he was working at and all that. And then you got to remember what Don said many times, and he also just recently said this on Hatfield and McCoy's. He said, Yeah, DHS came here at 7 o'clock at night. DHS came here at 7 o'clock at night. And as Don just pointed out in chat here, allegedly told him to get off the property and all that stuff. But Don is always blaming CPS for taking Summer. And I think he blames CPS and DHS because he feels that's what started the downward spiral, if you will. Because if DHS wouldn't have came, in my opinion, she wouldn't be missing. If they would have taken her that evening, she wouldn't be missing today. And they came there on the 15th or on the 14th. And Don says they came around and looked around on the roof and all that stuff. Listen to this again.
Time I met him, he told me he had to stay at work till almost 8, 9 o'clock at night because DSS was coming to his house and he couldn't be there. I said,
Because
what?
of what? Because of who was
Come
coming to
on,
my
Don,
house?
bro.
Who? I missed that. What'd you say? Assess.
No.
Or CPS. He said CPS was coming to your house. Or DCS. DSS?
DCS.
Yeah. Tennessee Child Services, I guess.
Yeah. That's what you told me, Don. I mean, I'm.
Well, okay,
you know.
I might have said that. Yeah, I might not wanted to talk to them or whatever. I don't know. Somebody
Would
called
anybody?
somebody called DCS on me saying that I was giving my kids loaded guns to play with.
Now, just remember that because he actually says he was, well, he doesn't say he was giving them loaded guns, but he does say that he was even giving Summer GUN. I'll show you. He booked out of Tennessee to Utah with the oldest for a reason. Well, he certainly did. He actually booked it out of Tennessee to Utah because of CPS then as well. That's why he's got all of this anger, toward CPS. 1 second. Okay. Let me see here. Okay, let me just play this because I'm gonna
Of all things.
Oh, Jesus.
Wow, I didn't hear that one.
I thought
Well,
it said
that
smoke weed with him.
No, that was our first case, and that was dropped. That case was dropped June 14th, the day before Summer come up missing. They come up
Okay.
to my house.
Listen.
They brought our CPS.
Who
worker
came up to
brought
your house?
The welfare come to
Oh.
my house with a supervisor.
Mm-hmm.
She brought her supervisor with her. My kids were running around with their little motorcycles. It was a beautiful day. Everything seemed really nice.
So Don, here you say CPS dropped the case on June 14th. But you also say now that CPS kidnapped Summer, why would they drop a case and then 24 hours with your ridiculous claim say that they then kidnapped Summer after 24 hours of them dropping it? You know they didn't drop it, Don. Mm-hmm. Our first case, my ass, yeah. Yep, me exactly.
And the very next day is when Summer come up missing.
He didn't even go in Sunday, and then Monday he shit in the tub. That's the 14th.
Okay, now this is Dudley again. Listen to Dudley again here.
Yeah. Really nice. And the very next day is when Summer come up
recording.
missing.
He didn't even go in Sunday, and then Monday he shit in the tub. That's the 14th. Mark, is it? Yeah. The 14th. Try to stay on track. That's the day I walked in, and nothing, the mud that was still left over, 2 buckets was still sitting there. He was sitting on a tub in the hall bathroom, and it looked like he lost his best friend. I said, "What's up, bud?" and he was crying. So I didn't really know. I've never seen him that way before.
So Sunday, right before Summer went missing, Dudley says Dawn did not go in. Monday, the 14th, was it the 14th? Yeah. The 14th, he says, might have been the 13th. 13th or 14th, he comes in and he says, Dawn looks like he lost his best friend. He's sitting in the bathtub and he's like crying. He's upset. Thank you, Linda. Appreciate you. Thank you for the silver star, my dear. Appreciate you, love. I always think that the local interview Dawn and the oldest boy did together. The boy was, it wasn't my fault, Daddy. Makes sense with the Jody suit here. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Listen.
I said, "What's up, bud?" And he was crying. So I didn't really know. I've never seen him that way before.
Never seen him
He's
that
one
way.
of those multi-personality type persons. If you say do something, you do what you actually do, and you turn around and yell like you're doing it. I'm like, what the fuck? Sorry, I didn't cuss, but he do that shit to me, fuck with my head all day. Drive me crazy, make me go home and make my wife go crazy because I was talking about him.
Killer, can you ask that question?
Away just in case, you know, you can't find her right away or whatever, just to make sure, call 911. And when I got off the phone with her, as soon as she hung up, I called 911 from where I was at, and they had to switch me over from the 911 operator to the 911 operator in Hawkins County.
Mm-hmm.
And I flew home as fast as I could.
Right.
And then when I got there, I drove straight to the bottom property just because I know I have a good view of the hill, and I seen my neighbor to the left of me.
He went to the bottom of the hill. There's a building down there. It's his building. It's at the bottom of the hill, not on the hill. And it's interesting why he went there.
And all three of my boys to the right of me together, like I told them, always be together. If you're going to be out off the hill anyway. And when I seen that they were down on the bottom property, basically looking around, and she wasn't on top of the hill, I figured she wasn't there. You know, and then that's when it got real crazy. I drove up to the top of the hill, and there was like 1 or 2 police cars there at that time. And of course, they're questioning us. They're doubting. I felt in my heart.
Right there. They're questioning us from the instantly. They're doubting. They're doubting Dawn and Candace from the moment they pull up. From the moment they pull up, Dawn pulls up and the police pull up, they are doubting, because nobody in their right mind would believe that someone would come there and take a kid out of their house, way out a country road, off another 1-lane country road, on a mountain by itself, with adults, dogs, and children on the property the day before CPS comes, and the day before that Dawn says he has to stay till 8 or 9 o'clock in the evening because of CPS might showing up.
At the end, that she was taken.
What were they doubting?
Well, I was trying
Chris
to
got
tell
it.
them that I don't think she's here. I think she's been taken, because if she wouldn't leave the top of the hill. She wouldn't leave from around the house.
And again, Dawn is, I just showed you one of his first quotes here. He says he thinks someone snuck up behind Summer, right, and grabbed her and took her down the hill. If you were a parent, and you lived there, that's the last thing. Out of all the things that could happen around you to a kid, that's the last thing that you're going to think is someone took your kid around when you live there. Truly the last thing Tasha, thank you so much, my dear. Appreciate you. That's the last thing you're going to think of. You're going to think, oh, well, she walked off. Oh, she's hiding. Anything but someone, and especially of her with their story going inside the house. Kids usually don't go inside their house and just vanish in 2 minutes. In 2 minutes, 3 minutes max, according to the mother. Come on. Doesn't happen.
I had her pretty well. I mean, I show all my kids videos on YouTube of what, because we got grizzly bears, we got wild dogs and other things, and so I was worried that so I showed them things to try to put a scare into them, not to wander off. And Summer would not wander off by herself. No way. No way.
So when Candace went down the first time, it sounds like she went looking for Summer.
She got in her mother's truck.
Did she go into the basement?
Well, yeah, she looked all over at first, of course.
And then
Three pugs and one Frenchie. Thank you so much, my darling. Appreciate you. Welcome to the Pearl family, my darling. Appreciate you very, very much. Good to see you. Hello, Daily. Good to see you, friend. Thank you so much. If those are my parents, I would want. Fuck yeah. Anywhere would be better than we're there.
Okay, was the door open or closed?
Listen.
If you remember, was it locked?
Well, I wasn't there, and we try to keep that basement door locked.
Okay, because people have said that you're the only one with the key.
Wide open all the time.
Yeah, you were the only one with the key, Don, right? That door wasn't used downstairs. It was not used. Thank you, Tori, for the clutch, darling. Appreciate you very much. Oh my God, you're a pug owner, and we got 3 pugs and 1 Frenchie. I was a pug owner. My little Jaja passed recently, but I love the pugs.
Right, but people have said that you're the only one with the key.
Wide open all the time.
Right, but people have said you're the one.
No.
Go ahead.
There is no key to the basement, so I think we lost that.
Okay, what about the deadbolt, brother?
Well, we just lock the regular lock. We don't lock. Well, we'll lock the deadbolt if we're in the house. We can lock the deadbolt from the inside.
Well, you said you all go out the front door. In fact, that morning you said you went out the front door. You always go out the front door. There's a couch in front of it. There's a 2-way like mirror tent. You couldn't even see inside. Well, they know Summer was in there.
On the basement. We use the upstairs door if we're going somewhere or whatever, and lock that one.
You sure do.
Okay, that morning when you woke up to go to work,
right,
was that door opened or closed, or locked or open?
I assume it was locked because we lock the doors at night,
Okay.
Yeah, you locked the doors at night, right? And Candace was right out behind you, right? Even though you weren't at work, though, Don. You weren't at work. You didn't go to work that morning. Again, you know that. I know that. God knows that. TBI knows that. Hawkins County knows that. A few YouTubers know that because you've told that, and you've told on yourself multiple times.
So at some point then, if you're assuming it was locked that morning, which way did you go out that door, or did you go back out through the kitchen to go to work?
I go upstairs and go through the kitchen to get in my truck and head to work.
Okay, so you go to work, but that day you didn't
Now
take
watch
your
this.
truck, right?
Yeah, I've used the Subaru the day before. I had fired Dudley because I was sure he was on meth and acting all crazy and stuff. I mean, just out of his mind. And I even looked on YouTube as to how people act when they're on meth, and he fit every single one of them.
Yeah, Don's talking about people being on math when you just heard the Candace in the 911 call say he was with the math man, right? Also, Don's first statement to WJHL. Her mother and her grandmother said she wanted to go in the house. So my wife watched her go in that door and she went into the house. And the boys were on the internet, of course, and she went and she wanted to go downstairs and play with her toys. So when her mother came in and says, Summer, and she went down the basement and she didn't answer. So she went down there and she was gone. So she went out the basement door, which was unlocked. And we haven't seen her since. You just said you got it locked.
Well done. Dude, come on, man. You've seen 1,000 people on meth, bro. You don't have to look on YouTube for that one, buddy.
He used the Subaru the day before. This is the only time he has actually said that he used it the 14th, because in the beginning he said he took the Subaru the 15th, that Starlink, which is like OnStar, it's Subaru's version. He said that's one of my 7 alibis. But now he wants to talk about it on the 14th. And the reason I think that is because TBI went to him and said, Don, we've torn this car apart. We've got the telematics on it. And buddy, you were not there on the 15th at work like you said you was. And now I think he's saying the 14th, which he was actually there on the 14th with the car. Butterflies, thank you so much for the gold coin, babe. Appreciate you very, very much. Good to see you, babes. In my opinion, that house did not sit in a place where someone would. Oh, hell no. Hell no. I've been there many times. And no.
Come on. That's like a cop looking around for donuts in a donut shop and not knowing what they look like.
Exactly, Chris.
Come on.
You hear me? All right.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. What are we laughing about? Hey, I don't deal with
No.
Don's a little defensive there. Yeah. Don. Yeah. That's when Candace said Starlink's a whore. She's like, Candace thought Starlink was like one of Don's stripper girlfriends or something like that. Starlink, she's a whore. I'll never get over that as long as I live. I'll never get over that as long as I live. That's how jealous they are of each other. Thought Starlink was one of Don's stripper girlfriends. She's a whore.
I didn't say you. I said
you've seen meth. You've seen people on meth before.
Seen people on meth. I mean, it's kind of crazy to look on YouTube. So that, and what I said.
Oh
yeah,
God.
Well.
Uh-oh. Hold on, Linda. 1 second. Linda, someone accidentally blocked you. Let me fix it. 1 second. 1 second. We can't have Miss Linda blocked. Hail to the no. I don't see Linda blocked. To me, it doesn't say Linda's blocked. But I just cleared it if it doesn't say she was blocked on my end. But I just cleared the list, so it shouldn't be. Nobody should be blocked. You can see Linda. Okay. You might have accidentally timed her out. She's back. Okay. We got you, Linda. Sorry about that.
You know, if unless it's something you're dealing with all
We
the
see you,
time,
baby. We see you.
forget
Sorry.
little things like that. But I knew he was out of his damn mind and saying all kinds of crazy stuff, and he couldn't do his job. And anyway, I don't want to talk about that dude. Anyway.
Okay. All right, that's fine.
It's been proven that he just got busted, for all the charges he's got. That's
Right.
all
All drugs, no problem. So let's get back to you decide to take the car that day.
I took it the day before, I think, because I've been driving my truck for a long time. We went through this already. I just wanted to put some miles on the Subaru. So.
Oh, okay, sure.
Again, he says the day before. I don't think Chris caught it in that interview, but he says the day before. Anyway, I don't want to talk about it. We've talked about it.
You
many
wanted to
times.
drive the Subaru, and you loaded it up with all your stuff.
The day before.
The
day before, we had actually had a welfare case where somebody called and said, "Oh, letting the kids run around with loaded guns," which was.
Now remember that the day before he said they were letting us run around with loaded. Well, Don, you know that's why you couldn't be at the house. You know that.
Totally idiotic and stupid. So they closed that case the day before. That night, about 7 p.m., they was out there and closed the case.
Now, Don says they were out there at 7 p.m. to close the case. And you just heard Dudley saying that Don was sitting in the bathtub. He was really sad. Like 2 days before, or I think it was the same day, the 14th, when CPS was out there. He said he couldn't go home until about 8 or 9 o'clock because of CPS. Obviously, Don went home a little early that day, and CPS was there.
And the very next day, Summer come on missing. But anyway, back to what you're saying.
No, that's fine. So somebody had snitched you off that there was a CPS problem of some sort?
No, they said we was letting the kids run around with loaded guns.
Remember that.
Well, and CPS worked through that. We don't need to talk about that stuff.
Yeah, they closed that case the day before.
They did not close the case the day before, Don. You know that. By the way, there's a person missing in Canada that I got a notification for him. We might do that live stream tomorrow. I think it's in Saskatchewan. Oh, you got a headache. I'm sorry, dear.
Okay, that's cool. So let's go back to that morning. What time do you wake up?
Listen to this.
As soon as the sun hits me, I don't set an alarm.
Though. And I know that there's a third victim
There
statement.
are no other victims. You're lying.
No, you're lying, Don. You are.
No, you are.
Don, there is a third victim.
Then where are they?
There is a third
No,
victim
bullshit.
statement, and you even said it the other
Then
night.
what did they say?
Not only do I know,
This is Josh and Don arguing because Don has victims that he has admitted to.
Don, not only do I know that
And
there's
they
a third
read the
victim.
They're both lies.
No, there's a third victim statement. They read you 3 statements, Don.
Okay, then what does the third victim statement say?
It basically says the same thing that you
No,
caused
it
this
doesn't.
young
No,
lady.
it doesn't.
Well, you didn't let me finish.
No,
okay,
no,
okay, Don.
no,
Okay, I don't know. You're right. You're right. But I do know
Why
what's
do you
on.
want to talk to me, dude? Why does it?
Okay. Now, look at this right here. This is a phone call from Don.
Candace,
He's going to talk about Summer going missing.
well, she called me first, says she can't find Summer nowhere. And I says, well, hang up from me and call 911 right now, just in case. So she did. She ran to her mom's trailer over here, grabbed her phone because she was the only one at the time that had an AT&T phone.
Now, that's she says she called me first, and then she hangs up with her and she runs and gets her mom's phone. She lays the phone on the tailgate, she says, and calls 911. Now, from what I understand, Dawn and Candace was calling via Facebook that day. Now, Candace could have called 911 through her Wi-Fi, but Dawn's going to say, and this was, again, 2021, there was no service on Ben Hill Road. I had AT&T in 2021. Now, maybe up on the hill, they might have had service, but when you were down in Ben Hill Road, you didn't even have 2Gs, which is when you have virtually 0 bars, but you still have service. You had the circle with the line through it.
Called 911, and I called 911 also after I threw the rest of my tools in the Subaru.
I bet you did, Don. You wanted to let them know where you were.
So I got on the road and called 911, and they dispatched me over to Hawkins County. And so then she called me back on Messenger, and we talked the whole way. And she was driving her mother's truck, going all over, back and forth, up and down these streets looking. So, and she was nowhere to be found. So she was the first one, driving around all these streets and everywhere looking for her. So that tells you right there that somebody threw her in a car and got gone fast out of this area quickly. And it don't take long, you get on some of these roads and open your vehicle up, you can fly pretty good and get out of here, no problem. So they had at least 25, 30 minutes to get out of this area, And then, so
they had 25, 30 minutes to get out of this area. You had about 15 minutes to get to Van Hill Road, didn't you, Don?
Yeah, I'd say she's, I don't know. I know there's one route out of here
Listen.
that I think the police, I believe there's one route out of here that they can take, and I don't think there's any cameras on that one route out of this area. There's several routes, but
heard some screams. She
This is Dawn as well. It's a little distorted, but it's them.
was up there outside, just across from us, and she heard some really weird screams before they heard us screaming for Summer, and that still haunts her.
Here he tells on himself again, right? He's talking about Jody Sue hearing Summer scream, but he says before they heard us scream. But Dawn, you wasn't home, remember?
Across from us, and she heard some really weird screams before they heard us screaming for Summer, and that still haunts her. She's still haunted by all that, and I think she might have been fighting somebody.
I think she might have been fighting somebody. 5 years old.
And like maybe her mouth was covered, and she probably couldn't breathe, and she probably was able to get out a scream or something like that in terror kind of scream. So yeah, that's horrible. And she can scream.
They kept me in and out. I mean, I'm not gonna blame them. I was raised in jails, every county jail there was across America. That's where I was raised.
That's where Dawn was raised, was prison.
When stuck their head out, that kind of stuff is constant in our area, and all kind of stuff going on. I think meth is becoming what it always has been, but it's getting worse, I guess.
You should.
It's a serious problem.
You should. And get a wig and call Starlink a whore. You should do that. Starlink's a whore.
I guess it is everywhere, but yeah.
And that was the morning?
What's right
Sorry, that was that morning you left for work that happened with the four-wheeler and that?
Yes. Yes.
Hold on, what?
Sorry, that was that morning you left for work that happened with the four-wheeler and that?
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
So the police were there June 15th, early in the morning then?
Yeah. Yeah, they just showed up because somebody else had called the law. Oh, well, they could. They surely could. My sister could charge run.
Dawn has 2 older kids, an older son and an older daughter.
Jeannie don't want to admit to this. She's a little hoe.
This is his half-sister whom he admitted to SAing. And he talks about his daughter right here.
And JR, it's my daughter. It wasn't that far back. There could be all kind of charges brought up.
Yeah, it was in the back of the truck.
But, we don't try to do that shit. Look, my poor daughter's been raped several times.
By people.
My daughter was raped by my first wife's son. As soon as she turned 18, he raped her on her 18th birthday.
Jesus.
Yeah, because he knew once she turned 18, there wasn't a whole lot she could do about it or whatever.
Well, RAEE doesn't matter what age you are, Don.
On her 18th fucking birthday.
Listen to what he says.
Pretty crazy. Those are things she could do, but she didn't go crying. She don't go crying and for all attention and blah, blah, blah.
His daughter said she doesn't go whining. She doesn't go crying for all the attention and blah, blah, blah. This is his oldest daughter that was R'd, quote, many, in quote times. Don and Candace were charged with SA, but they were dropped.
She dealt with it.
She dealt with
I got to give my daughter props on that.
She dealt with it. He's got to give his daughter props. I'll never get over that. He's got to give her daughter props because she didn't go whining and crying. She just took it. Thank you, Kimchi baby. Appreciate you for the clock it. Thank you, babies. Mm-hmm.
I mean, not like to say that, it was right or anything.
You just
I'm trying
did.
to say that. Just, I don't know.
Not to say it was right.
It
but
hurt
give her
her.
props. She
I
didn't
couldn't be there. I wasn't there. Nothing to do about it. And her mother, her real mother, just like, well, let's, whatever. But I don't know. Kind of crazy. But so we can't confirm any, but
listen to this.
kids, down there too. And of course, we can't confirm any of this because the police they're really not telling us a whole lot. But my kids, they run around barefoot all the time. Yeah. I just don't know about that. I really don't. My kids could have been running around down there looking for Summer that day barefooted because they run around barefooted all the time. I can't go barefooted like they do, but they can run on these rocks and stuff.
Okay. Check this out.
Yeah, I'd give Summer a CO2 BB gun with no BBs in it, and she liked to go around and go pow, pow, pow. She loved to do that. And
This is him talking about CPS came the day before, he claims, stating that he was giving them loaded GUN with, like CO2 and stuff. Now he says he gave Summer one, but he never put any CO2 in it.
she'd say, Daddy, it ain't got no whatever in it. And I put in the CO2 in it. I still have CO2 cartridges in my.
He said, Daddy, it doesn't have any, like the CO2 in it. He said, and I would put CO2 in it. Now, he would put the CO2 in it, but he said he wouldn't give him the lids for it.
Gun cabinet.
Yeah.
And those guns.
5.
Just little, BB guns or whatever.
Yeah.
And they come up here and like, oh yeah, we're going to close the case. We're going to close the case. The welfare caseworker come up here that on the 14th of June, about 6 or 7 o'clock, 5, 6, 7 o'clock, somewhere in that time frame, and said they're closing the case. But for some odd reason, she brought her supervisor up here with her.
That wasn't an odd reason.
They were eyeballing my kid.
Okay.
The supervisor and the
Cher's just nodding her head, just trying to get him to talk, making him feel comfortable. There was a reason that supervisor was there. And again, you heard the detective in the beginning of this program where he said the CPS case and Summer's disappearance, he used the term, they bleed into one another. It's not a coincidence that Summer went missing 24 hours after CPS left. It's not a coincidence.
The original caseworker at that time says we've been through 3 caseworkers since that time.
Even though they were closing the case.
They've been fired, or they've went somewhere else, or whatever. They have a high turnover rate in CPS.
They do, yes.
Yeah. I mean,
after the boys were taken, Kelsey, I've shown the papers. Candace and Dawn were charged with SA, 3 counts each, but they were dropped because they didn't have enough corroborating evidence.
Everywhere, yep. I know that's true. Yep.
and they says, well, we're closing that case. Well, almost exactly 24 hours to the second, Summer come up missing.
Really? That quick?
Ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
From the time they closed the case the night before,
wow.
The next day,
The
Summer
very
come up
next
missing.
day.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
less than 24 hours after that.
24, almost 24 hours exactly.
Oh,
Summer
wow.
come up
Yep.
missing.
And
And then almost
One second, I'll show you.
48 hours later, we're dealing with all these cops up in here, fucking pushing us around, asking all kinds of questions, tearing our house upside down. Do you know that they searched our house 11 times? They come through here, you know what? I'm not trying to talk shit about fucking Hawkins County and shit like that or whatever, but we allowed them motherfuckers.
Okay, look at this right here. I've redacted the names and all that, but this is Candace, perpetrator's name, Candace. I redacted last name, right? 3 different counts, SA, State of Tennessee Department of Children's Services, DCS Central Office, Nashville, Tennessee. It was dropped. They allegedly didn't have enough corroborating evidence.
Up here.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't mean to cuss,
It's okay.
but they come up here 11 times.
In my opinion, I believe Summer was going to be checked. She's getting ready to start kindergarten. And I think she had to be put away because Don's a felon and he didn't want to get in trouble.
No, they come up here. I let them come up here about 11 times total and search our property. And even sometimes when we weren't even home, and turned everything upside down in this
Are they
fucking
allowed
house.
to do that? Wait, are
If
they?
you
They're allowed
let
to go in your
them-
house
if you let
and you're
them,
not.
yeah.
Oh, so you let them?
Hold
Okay.
on a minute.
What is it in Tucson? What do you mean, the real Italian? Candace isn't in Tucson. She's in Tennessee. I don't know with or without prejudice. I have no idea. Well, I would say there is no well, this is SA. There's a difference in SA charges and RA than grape, right? So this was SA. There is no statutory.
Hold on a second.
Great.
What's going on?
Did CPS drive a black Escalade?
No, they didn't drive a black Escalade. They had a white, like Ford. Okay, let me hold on. Let Candace.
So they're going to talk about their vehicles there that day. And remember, you just heard Dudley say that Don was staying at the house that they were working at. He said he had to stay there till 8 or 9 in the evening because CPS was going to come up there. And they came up there June 15th.
Trying to tell me something. Hang on
sorry.
just 1 second. Yeah, no, it's not your fault. What? No, it wasn't a black Escalade. It was a white. Okay, I'm back.
Okay.
Candace is saying there were 2 vehicles and one of them was a black Escalade. I'm
Thank
sorry.
you, Joe.
Oh.
But I don't remember seeing a black Escalade.
Thank you, baby. Appreciate you for the Uncle Alert. Thank you.
But that's her story.
Someone says, Don, please. I think I heard her say that once before. There was 2 vehicles.
Okay, I'll put it on.
No, it's okay.
Candace is saying there was a black Escalade parked down below.
Okay.
But I didn't
they were
see that.
They were definitely watching like a hot.
Yeah, I mean, they was all up in our business.
Yeah.
We've never had no trouble before in our lives till welfare got involved.
He calls CPS welfare, and they had again. He's right. CPS was all over them because you got to remember 10 months prior to Summer vanishing, there was another CPS case, and this was a case between the oldest child of theirs and allegedly one of Allie's children. And Dawn got scared and took him and the oldest boy to Utah. They fled. Yeah, Candace's sister is still missing. Rosebud, yeah.
Yeah.
We have had no trouble whatsoever. Everything was hunky-dory until welfare.
And I think this is why he is so mad at CPS and DHS. And I think this is exactly the reason why he says CPS kidnapped, because just what he said, everything was hunky-dory until they started getting into their life. Meaning, in my opinion, I don't think Summer would be missing had they taken her the 14th, or if CPS hadn't have ever got a call, Summer would not be missing, because I don't think Dawn would have hid Summer. If you
showed
know
up
what
in
I
our
mean.
fucking lives. out of our trucks time and time again.
What,
Turn
your
our whole
cars
house
too?
upside down. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. They throw everything out of our trucks and throw it on the ground and just leave it. You know, he's dealing with all this kind of stuff. And then about 48 hours after Summer come up missing, here comes the welfare again. Oh, we got to open a new case because of everything that's going on.
So CPS is there the 14th, right? Dawn's not supposed to be there. Less than 24 hours later, Summer is missing. 48 hours after that, CPS is back. Dawn says, or Dudley says, Dawn's not supposed to be there. Got it. Got it. Come on now, folks.
But see, if I would have been smart and know how to deal with CPS, I would have told them to get the fuck off my property before.
You did tell them to get the F off of your property. And not only that, Candace knows that she can tell them to get off the property because her first two children in 2002, Candace arrested for child abuse, intentionally causing harm, and possession of rug paraphernalia. This is Burnett County. Arrested for disorderly conduct and reckless endangerment, safety, first degree court case. Disorderly conduct, arrested for disorderly conduct. Burnett County, arrested for probation, warrant arrested, issued for no contact violation. Arrested for probation, warrant issued for absconding. This is in 2002 when Candace lost her first two children, where she threatened the lives of the CPS workers. Mm-hmm.
Or I fucking shoot you.
Well, maybe not the last part.
No,
but yes,
oh,
like
no,
to
no,
get
no,
off.
no.
Well, I guess
Yeah,
maybe, yeah.
yes,
A lot
the
of
last
people don't understand the country
I wonder
culture
what
as
I
well,
know
right?
now. Yeah, I would have shot him in the
And
house.
thank you, Tits McGee. I want to hear from them and not hear say. Yeah, we understand that. Didn't mean I meant on the 15th. Okay, they want.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Absolutely crazy. One second here. It's very bad. Okay. And I think that... One second. I want to talk about the red truck because about... let's see here. Very early on, there was this red truck that came into play. And this red truck was allegedly discovered on Van Hill Road. Van Hill Road is where Dawn tried to, within the last year or two, tried to run over Candace. Literally in front of the house where the FBI and TBI was searching. They did a search warrant this past November in related to the Summer Wells case. Dawn tried to run over Candace literally in front of that house, in front of the road there.
You're asked to call 1-800-TBI-FIND.
It's got like a heartbeat sound but this is a question right here. And is the red truck still of interest to you? If the neighbor said she got a good look at the driver, we would love to have a sketch of him. No one has shared the description of the driver. This is from the TBI, Leslie Earhart. A person who drives the route as part of their job reported seeing the truck near Summer's home. They say on the 14th or the 15th. We have more information about the truck on our newsroom blog. Just 1 second here. Okay. Okay. That's something completely different there. So that is very, very important. Okay. Now, Dawn was talking to these tree trimmers. And on Van Hill Road, they have a tree. The house that they searched has a tree trimming business. They were not the main tree trimmers there, but I believe they were, in my opinion, subcontracted out. I know there's, I've talked to some of the, I'll just say family with, on Van Hill Road. I think some other YouTubers have talked to people there on Van Hill Road, and I just don't think they're being completely honest, all of them. Meaning the people in Van Hill.
Well, the next day when FBI got it, Randy brought it to my attention. The guy used to work with us.
Randy brought it to my attention. And in my opinion, Hunter said a guy named Andy. He said, Dawn said there was a guy up at the house named Andy trying to touch the little kids. And in my opinion, I believe he meant he overheard it, and I think it was, in my opinion, it was Randy.
They actually stopped him, but I was in the pickup truck.
So the morning Candace, Grandis, and Summer left, they stopped and talked to Randy that morning. He is one of the tree trimmers there.
The mother, the mama, and Summer.
The mother, the mama, and Summer. And they said they saw Summer?
Well, she was in the truck. Randy said that she laid up in the back of the truck.
Well, she was in the back of the truck. Randy said that she was laid up in the back of the truck. Extended cab, meaning in Grandis's truck. Randy. Who also, there is a Randy affiliated with Van Hill Road, and has a tree service, which is the same place where a year or two ago Dawn tried to run over Candace in front of their home.
Did she? Oh, was that morning?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, Summer is supposedly in the back of this truck that morning, and apparently she's sleeping in the back of the truck that morning. And this Randy says that he sees her. Right? This Randy says he sees Summer laying in the back of the truck that morning. Well, to me, that's a little weird that this truck driver that's named Randy talks to Grandis and Candace that morning, and he sees Summer in the back of this truck. Now at 3:09, we have this picture later on that day. This photo was taken at 3:09, and Summer's laying on these milk jugs. It's summertime. She's got this coat on, zipped up, these black or gray pants. And then at 3:30 that day, Dawn and Candace, Dawn's home too, but Candace, Grandis, and Summer get home at about 3:15 that day. And about 15 minutes later at 3:30 p.m. that day, about 16 minutes after this photo was taken, guess what? Dawn, Candace, and Grandis's phones are deleted from 3:30 p.m. onward. That comes directly from Dawn's own mouth. Coincidentally, or not coincidentally, let me find it. Coincidentally or not coincidentally, the tree trimmers in this recording said that they get off of work at 3 or 3:30 every single day when they were working that job. 3 to 3:30 every single day. Yeah. So the tree trimmers get off at 3 to 3:30 that day. Dawn, Candace, and Grandis's phone is deleted from 3:30 onward that day. Summer is here at 3:09, seemingly passed out on milk jugs. This random photo was taken and video. Is this it? This is the actual video that was taken that day.
Still got her arm up? No. Oh, that's what I was trying to catch. She still got her arm up? No. Oh, that's what I was trying to catch.
This is at 3:09 that day when that picture was taken. They accidentally took this little clip along with pictures as well. Does she still got her arm up? No. Oh, that's what I was trying to catch. I think about, in my opinion, about 20 minutes after this video, Summer's gone. She's out of there. One second. Oh, God. I think he's schizophrenic, Cassie. Both of them. the interviewer or the one live on that and the one talking. The 309 picture followed by the phone activity stopping is one heck of a sequence. Yeah. And so is Randy getting off work at 3:30. Right? Craziness. Craziness. Justin, this is the kind of timeline investigators obsess over. Well, I think they just need to find Summer. I think they just need to find Summer, and I think they just need a couple more things, if you will. They just need some more things, but I think the FBI is working really hard on this right now. One second. I think this is that little clip right there. Let me see here.
Is that morning? Yeah. What's that afternoon? Did anybody see? No, because where we're from Moretown area that way, they give us drive time. At that time, we was leaving 3:30 of the day.
Do you hear that very end part right there? At that time, we were working till 3 or 3:30 during the day.
At that time, we was leaving 3:30 of the day. At that time, we was leaving 3:30 of the day.
That time we were working 3 or 3:30 during the day. Yeah. Your phones also were deleted at 3:30 onward. Yeah, a lot of things are happening right there at 3 and 3:30, isn't it? Candace, taking these pictures, taking this video. Summer's out. These tree trimmers. Don's lying about not being home. He was talking to the tree trimmers that morning. This tree trimmer saw Candace, Grandis, and Summer that morning. FBI goes to Van Hill Road last year and to a place where they are tree trimmers. There's a Randy that's there, and all of that. A lot going on, huh? Because they had to drive back to the workplace. Yeah. The last known photo window is incredibly important. Yep. All three, not just one phone, 3 phones. 3 phones, 3:30 onward. Yeah. Imagine that. Incredibly sarcastic. The power company would no call them. Well, I think they've I think TBI and FBI has got it. Here's a question. Well, and also when I called that into the FBI about Candace, I had that recording of Candace saying that she went to a person's farm and she said she threw some phones in a pond. Now, she said they were Ernie's phones that he had given her, but big time. What time did they go to the hog farm? The FBI went there in, I want to say, October or November this last year. What's the reason he denies being home? Good question, right, Styro? I mean, he denies being home because he doesn't want to be, because he's involved, right? There's nothing wrong with being home. Nothing wrong with being home. Except if you're involved. They must be hunted by Candace. Don't you think she could look? Haunted, rather, by it. Candace, don't you think she could look? Oh, Candace, they don't give a shit. They're up there on that hill, drunk as a bunch of skunks, and as long as Dawn and Candace have each other, that's all the damn things that they worry about. That's all they care. Any worse? She looks awful now. This dress must. They have really went downhill. Yeah. Just fine. They have enough rugs and alcohol to make sure that they sleep just fine. Listen, Don has been, you heard him. He said he grew up in prison and jails across the United States. So, anyway, yeah, I hope Fred and them watch this. Like I said, I would not pay any attention to Jody Sue at all. That's just kind of what she wants, is attention. And I don't think, Fred and them is, like they said, they haven't covered this case like, a lot of us have. And, you can never search an area enough. And I get that. But I don't think, besides Jody Sue they haven't lived on that property in ages. There's been everyone and their mother has been blamed in Summer's case. And as much as, Jody Sue yaps her mouth all the time and stuff, if I was Fred and Sheila, I would not pay her a bit of attention. I wouldn't watch her. I haven't watched her since 1967. That's how, in my opinion, pretty much irrelevant she is. Her life is, like I said, pretty small. And all she does, you just don't even know what the hell she's talking about. She goes on, she just starts in the middle of a sentence and goes from one thing to the other. And, she's just riddling is all she's doing. And listen, she'll milk it, anything she can. I think that people were saying like, Fred was making fun of her having cancer or something like that. Listen, I don't think, Fred would ever do something like that. He's had cancer himself. Anybody that makes fun of anybody having cancer that's terrible. Really, Tennessee Twister? Sorry. This is such a good point because noise can bury the actual. Well, and that's the thing. People, everyone wants to defend themselves, whether that's Jody Sue or, Fred and them. And people can, they can get under your skin. You're human and all that. But don't let the noise, get you off track. Because that's what people, they want to talk about everything except Summer. Hey, thank you, Tori, for 25 months, girl. How you doing? Justin, can you play the video of Candace drive again? Who is the driver side mirror recording that? So, yeah, I'll play that. Sure. There's been a lot of debate in that. Some people's like, that's not Grandis. That's not Grandis. In my opinion, that is absolutely Grandis. Hold on, I gotta find it. I already exited out of it. Let me find it here. What'd I do with them? Oh, here it is.
She still got her arm up? No. Oh, that's what I was trying to get. She still got her arm up? No. Oh, that's what I was trying to get. She still got her arm up? No. Oh, that's what I was trying to get.
They're about 3 minutes away, 3 to 5 minutes away from home.
She still got her arm up? No. Oh, that's what I was trying to get. She still got.
Someone did they slowed it down literally frame by frame. That little clip that you see there, they did it in like it's like a 16-minute video. It's painfully slow, but it's really good. I want to say it was Evil Exist or someone. How did she turn with her knee hurting? Tennessee Twister, you're right. But you know what? You know what's even more strange to me is, why did she go in the grocery store that day? You know, if they left so early to go from Ben Hill Road to Kingsport, why would Grandis want to go fishing or swimming and go around all of these places and then go grocery shopping? You know, that doesn't make any sense to me. You know, her knee is hurting, and this is the time. How did she get out of, which I know she did. She did go in that hospital that day. But did she really get treated? Did she have a doctor's appointment? Because if she went to the ER, this is the heart of the Rona at this time. This is June 2021. So, yeah. Kelly, I love you, girly girl. This is such a wonderful channel. Much love to you, all the Pearls family, and Justin Kelly. I adore you, darling. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate you. Your support, being a mod. You're such a kind soul. Appreciate you so much, my dear. Much love to you. Thank you for that wonderful compliment, my dear. Thank you. Women's Warrior, thank you for the silver star, my darling. Really do appreciate you. Very sweet of you. Thank you so much. I have slow it down. I will put it back up. Also, the driver's mirror as well. All for summer. Let me tell you something. Mandy, my friend Mandy from Spirit Seeker Squad, she did we did a live stream together, actually. I might be on my Justin for All channel. It was a long time ago. But she's got a video of her in the back truck. And she's some very interesting observations that she sees in that video that I never saw even. So I would recommend checking Spirit Seeker Squad out. And it's about summer in the back of the truck. Amazing video. But I do think that's Grandis in the truck there. Nothing about that day is right. Well, milk and cheese. And another thing, Nana for Life has been at that grocery store, and I've been to that grocery store, and Nana remembers the exact time, but she said they were going in there for like milk and cheese or milk and eggs or bread or something like that. They were in there over 40 some minutes. I mean, again, your knees up, but you're going in there for 40 some minutes. Yeah. Unless Granda's got her script with pain pills from Walgreens that day. That's the only way you're walking with a hurt knee. Unless you got the script filled, honey. That's the only way. Broken Black Skies, how are you doing, baby? Good to see you. Oh my God. Your lilies are beautiful. Are those your lilies? I've got lilies at my house, but mine are just the ugly orange ones. I mean, they're not ugly, but they just turned orange. They were pretty one year, but then I guess the soil changed and mine are just orange. They're still very pretty though. She popped a few. Yeah, she probably did pop a few. Yeah. You are fucking kidding me. Are you serious? Oh my God. You know why? That's very interesting. Sorry that we're talking. Daily Ratui came in. Sorry, and she's talking about the Nancy Guthrie case, and that makes me wonder. It could go two ways. It could be because he's got an attorney and he's suing them now, and they don't want to seem, they went into their house and did all that shit for no reason. Or they're dropping this and it could be something later on come up for him and they just don't want to seem prejudiced. Yep. Dirty mofos. Dirty mofos. Holy shit. Oh my God, I'm gonna have to dig into it now. Why'd you do that to me, Ratui? I'm tired. Okay. Is that like a bunch of felonies in one incident and poof? Yeah. Yeah, apparently you can, ride around with, allegedly a bunch of rugs and pew-pews and, be a felon. And just the charges are dropped now after already being a felon. I would be under the fucking jail. I would be under the jail. He had rug charges and not so much rugs that it would be considered like possession to like sell or manufacture. I'm sorry, I was in a debate with should I tell you or not. Oh, no, I'm glad you did. No, I'm just kidding. No. I'm glad you did. Thank you. Thank you for telling me. I just had coffee before I came live. Somebody rang the law office and the secretary said his charges had been dropped. That's amazing, man. And he's been in trouble so much. Then why are they asking for this DNA in May? DC is in the NG is rolling over on perps. He made a deal. I don't know. Pima County's, it's never going to be right until Sheriff Nanos is out of there, in my opinion. Until they get him out of there. The people of Pima County, or the Attorney General. Hey Zelda, how you doing? I'm wrapping this one up. The city did not want to get sued. They are running out of money. They're going to be with Sheriff Doofy. I think he has to drop the Pima County lawsuit, in my opinion. They might have made a deal. Yeah, because that's not going to look good. Maybe they have to drop the lawsuit and say Luke is innocent. Maybe that's what's coming down the track. Or maybe just to drop lawsuit. Welcome to America, Ratui. Let me tell you something. In America, nowadays, most of law is only about money. That's all it is anymore here. How can we, fine you, or, you pay for, these people have the blow and goes, for, it's all about money. Most of it. It's crazy. Yeah. Well, I'm going to tell you something. The case we covered before Summer's case today, I have never felt such evilness in a case. Like, I've seen a lot of evil, but this guy that we were talking about, these two guys earlier, that's in Philadelphia, I have never sheer evil. I didn't even realize there was that much evil. It is dark and very, very dark. Like, I just wanted to take a shower afterwards, to be honest with you. And I just can't imagine how many bodies this is going to be. Yeah, I saw that interview, but do we believe that because the guy said some lies, so I don't believe anything he said? Agree. Bad. All right, guys, take good care of yourselves. Really, really do appreciate you all. Get some rest. It's Friday night, and tomorrow's Saturday. I will see you guys tomorrow, Lord willing. Tomorrow it'll be probably 6 or 7 Eastern. May even be a little bit later than that, but 6, 7 Eastern, somewhere around there. Who knows? I could go even earlier than that, but just check around. If anything breaks, of course, then I'll be here before that. But otherwise, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Much love. Special thanks to mods, members, everyone in chat. Take good care of yourself. Hug your loved ones. You only get so many trips around the sun. Good night, everyone. God bless.